Good morning. We are very close to Limehouse Basin. We've come all the way down the Lee navigation and we're right at the mouth of the Limehouse Basin, which I'll talk about in a minute. Why are we here? Well, I'll explain that in a little bit, but you can see there's a problem with the canal. We had wild, wet, windy weather last night and these bushes have come adrift and they're just floating in the waterway and blocking passage. So here's our boat just here. Got a lovely little mooring spot right on the bend. I'd like to take you on a walking tour of Limehouse Basin. We're here because when we got to the Hertford Union Canal to turn up and head into central London, which is where we're going, we found that the Hertford Union Canal locks were all closed. What a disaster. How were we going to get back into central London? So what we did, there's the bushes again, you can see them, there's our boat. What we did is we decided to head down to Limehouse Basin, then we'll cut up the Regent's Canal on the other side and bypass the blocked locks that way. So here we are, we're just coming into Limehouse Basin. Limehouse Basin was the most important inlet to the waterway system of England. So a lot of freight came in and out of Limehouse Basin. So it's a very historic area. It's called Limehouse because there were apparently lots of lime kilns used for pottery, making pots here to be exported. The Limehouse Basin, we're just coming into it now. It's now fairly luxurious, I would say. You have these fairly expensive apartments, I would guess. A lot of London has become very gentrified, but there are still elements of its history and its past. Here we are, just coming into the marina here, and some fairly large boats, much larger than our boats, and fairly expensive boats as well. Here we go. Limehouse Basin. And here's the sign up here, Regent's Canal, that's what we'll want. So in a day or two's time we're going to head over in that direction and head back up into central London. But for now, let's just head down here because this leads us to the entrance to the Thames, which is where we're going. And some interesting things to show you. Big Dutch barges over there. Dutch barges are seafaring boats, of course. After the wild winds last night, everything has calmed down. Water's a lot calmer. And let's see what the Thames looks like when we get there. So just ahead you can see the marina offices. This what looks like a clock tower on the top, although I don't think it is a clock tower. And we went in there, talking to the chap there, and it turns out that he is also a pilot and takes boats up and down the Thames. And we said to him, well, we're thinking of going up the Thames ourselves. He said, no problem at all. So we're very excited about this. We are planning to do this next spring, come down to Limehouse Basin, start here and then head up, all the way up, under Tower Bridge, past the Shard, Houses of Parliament, all the way up to Teddington. That's where we'll be going. That's the marina offices there. And here we are, just coming up to the main locks. These are special locks, very broad, you can see. Big boats can go in and out of these easily. And we're going to look at the construction of them, because I've never seen locks like this before. They're very unique. And you see they have a semicircular gate on both sides, and you've got a footbridge as well. So the whole thing, the lock gates and the footbridge, swing back into the semicircular spots, the corners on each side. There we go. Unique locks, built specifically for this purpose. We'll just have a quick look at them. First of all, you see how deep it is. And the reason it's so deep is this is very tidal here. And the Thames, as I understand it, can rise for anything from 12 to 20 feet and drop again. So when I came out earlier this morning, it was low tide, the water was calm, and you could see the mud banks on the Thames. Let's go and have a look now and see where the water level is. That's looking back into the basin. And just ahead of us is Old Father Thames. Now, if you are going to take a narrowboat on the Thames, the advice we've heard many times is you go really early. And the reason for that is once the passenger boats start appearing, they create a massive wake, and that could really toss your boat about. So here we are. There's the Shard, and we're looking upriver to the centre of London. Slightly bigger waterway this than the ones we've been on. The biggest amount of water we've been on is the lake Roydon Marina. There's one of the pleasure boats going up. You can see even that one, that's not a particularly big one. There's Canary Wharf, and once upon a time there was just one tower there, and look how many there are now. They've mushroomed, they've grown. So that's it. It's been quite an adventure coming down here. We never expected this. And we also found just down there, see where that wharf is one of the oldest pubs in London called the Grapes, which is owned by Sir Ian McKellen, the actor, also known as Gandalf. Beautiful old pub where Dickens used to visit and set his novel Our Mutual Friend. So this is a very unusual area. There you are, there's a look at the speed of that boat. That is going very fast. You think our boat goes 4 miles an hour. I don't know how many knots. It's 5 knots, is that? That's not traveling particularly fast. Some of the pleasure boats travel at a huge speed. So there we are, Saturday morning, Limehouse Basin. I'm heading back for a cup of tea.